Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for May 17th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also have a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the weather map for Sunday, it is quite vigorous. We have a Bermuda high off in the Atlantic, pumping lots of warmth up the eastern seaboard and lots of unsettled weather up the plains and even into the middle Rockies. And of course, we do have two rather dynamic low pressure centers, one sitting over Wyoming, a second sitting over Iowa. And again, lots of unsettled weather across the Rockies and through the northern plains. And we have lots of unsettled weather with instability pushing up the southern plains. Looking at our vitality index, which is a measure of any of the weather elements that might be of concern for health issues, and you can see that we really do have lots of activity going on across the country. About the only area not too much is the lower portions of the Four Corners. Otherwise, something in there to trigger a health concern. Looking at pressure change, we have rising pressure across Washington state, across northern Idaho and into Montana. We have rising pressure stretching from northern Michigan all the way through upstate New York and across all of New England. But we do have falling pressure sitting in eastern Nebraska, eastern North and eastern South Dakota, across Iowa and Minnesota. Looking at temperature change, and while we were talking about the east warming up significantly, you'll see that we have old man winter still trying to push into the Rockies and in the northern plains, really from Nevada across Utah into Colorado, Wyoming, covering much of Montana, and really trying to put some cold air all the way from Nebraska through the Dakotas. Note that we have some nice unusual warming here in the Pacific Northwest. Looking at dew point temperature change, and this is a lot more dramatic. We have some warming or rising dew point temperatures here in the southeast, a little bit sitting up here in Wisconsin and Minnesota. But the area of interest, of course, is here from Oklahoma Panhandle up into Kansas and Nebraska. You'll note that we have both rising and falling dew point temperatures right together, and that's always a sign of rather instability and some rather dynamic storminess. Go to vapor pressure and you can see it showing even more significantly with the rising dew point or vapor pressure here east of the Texas into the middle Mississippi Valley, but note that falling right behind it. And so this may be the center of real activity in the unsettled weather in the Oklahoma Panhandle into Kansas arena. And that is pretty much confirmed with the instability, which is where the showers and thunder showers might really brew. And that is up the plains, even into the middle Mississippi Valley. Note that we have instability here across the state of Florida also. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you'll see we have migraine stresses, rather significant area across the easternmost portions of California into Nevada, across Utah, across into Colorado, Wyoming, all the way back up the plains into Montana. And then in the plains itself, we have the westernmost portions of Nebraska, western North Dakota, western South Dakota, all with the significant migraine risk. We have another migraine risk here across central Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and then jumping to upstate New York and all of New England. Note that we have two small areas or bubbles of migraine risk here in central Kansas, another area of migraine risk across Georgia into northern Florida. The asthma and arthritis risk is pretty similar here for Vancouver into Washington state, but a more significant area of asthma and arthritis risk here in Iowa, and then we jump down to West Virginia across into North Carolina. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated.